Team GK over here, coming at you with a deck profile, Lightsworn. I know I haven't done a Lightsworn deck profile in a while, but that's just because, you know, Lumina's back at 3 in this format, so, you know, just want to see what exactly this plays out like. I've tested this build quite a bit on DN and showed it around quite a bit. I think Lightsworn actually does have quite a decent chance this format, so this is my personal build and I'll just explain along the way. So triple JD, boss monster of the deck, triple Lumina, just because she's at 3 now and she lets you do really crazy XYZ plays. This deck is going to be more focused around XYZing rather than synchro summoning. So triple Lila, just because, you know, Lumina with Lilas, you could do some pretty, you know, decent stuff, just popping back rows, so it's pretty cool. Double Raikou. I don't like triple Raikou this format. Even in Chaos Dragons, I've put Raikou down to 2 just because Fire Fist is a thing, and then Raikou's just not as solid right now. One Celestia, and I'll explain this later. I've never been a big fan of Celestia, but I do find that she might be quite useful this format, and she'd be able to hit the field more often than not. The utility Lightsworns, like I call them, Jane and Aaron. Aaron to send, you know, set stuff back. Jane to get over big stuff on the field. One Wolf, one Gyroth. I first started running triple Wolf, and now I've just cut down back to 1 just because I don't like drawing it and I don't like the sack aspect of it, so he's back down to 1, and I wanted to find room for double Trooper, double Tri, because it's my favorite play in Lightsworn. You know, just sitting on a big Trigodia, getting the draw of Trooper is, you know, one of the top plays that this deck has. One BLS, no Chaos Sorcerer, just because I'm not going for the Twilight version. I'm just going for pure Lightsworn with a couple of teched dark cards, so no Dark Armed either. Triple Necrogarna. With Lumina 3 now, I'm finally considering triple Necrogarna, and which is the reason why this guy comes back into play now, Celestia, because with triple Necrogarna you could always protect the set Raikou, and then just flip the Raikou next turn, pop a back row, and sack for Celestia. So Celestia, I think, finally merits having a spot at 1 in the deck again, especially now that you have ways to protect your Lightsworns, especially now that Necrogarden is at 3, and obviously you have Honest at 1, so you're able to drop her. I wouldn't play 2 or 3 just because it's a lot more difficult to, you know, there's many more things now that makes Celestia not as good as when she had first come out. I mean, it's still a cost to mill, obviously, but with Veilers around and whatnot, sometimes just summoning Celestia is not your best play, but when you do get her off, it could usually win you the game. And finally, one Zephyros, just because a lot of decks are playing Veiler at 3 right now. So a lot of times you summon JD, gets Veiler, so you can just Zephyros, bounce JD back, and summon JD again, and just blow the field up, and you know, you made them waste the Veiler in hand. So JD is actually really good as always good as he's always been, and you have Zephyros to make sure that the plays usually go through. Zephyros is good for another reason in the deck, and I'll get to that towards the end of the video. So that's my monster lineup. Spell lineup is triple Recharge, just because, you know, it's Recharge. 1 Charge of Light Brigade, double Duality. A lot of people just never like Duality in Lightsworn, but there's no reason for you not to be running it, especially because it just lets you get those recharges, lets you dig for them while, you know, letting you or get the Lightsworn that you need to, you know, start going off a bit, because sometimes the deck might draw dead, and Duality helps you get out of those bad hands. Pot of Avarice. I'm not playing Monster Reincarnation just because this deck goes into XYZs more than anything, and Monster Reincarnation is, first of all, a minus, and second of all, I think Pot of Avarice is just a generally better card. Late game, you just Pot of Avarice, send your JDs back, and then hope to draw them. And then the Trinity, Storm, Wolf, and Reborn. Last but not least, the trap lineup. Contrary to most of my Lightsworn builds in the past, I'm actually running a trap lineup. Double beckoning, because double beckoning is absolutely ridiculous now that you have triple Lumina and triple GD. Beckoning is just absolutely nutty. And finally, and this is why Zephyros and Celestia are justified in the deck, and it also makes cards like Double Trooper and BLS, and obviously the Luminas. These are all cards that benefit from having this card in the deck. Triple Call of the Haunted. So how does Triple Call of the Haunted make these cards be beneficial in the deck? Well, you could always, sometimes you have a dead Call of the Haunted, you could always just Source Summon Zephyros, add Call of the Haunted back to your hand, reset Call, and then use Call again. And obviously, there's rank 4 that could be made through by making this play, or you could also just summon, let's say, a Lila pop a back row, special summon Zephyros by bouncing Call, make a rank 4. So a lot of plussing that's involved over there. With Celestia, obviously you could just Call the Haunted to Lightsworn back and just tribute for Celestia, destroying 2 cards, so that's obviously a very good play.
Actually, call back a Lila and just pop back rows.
Yeah, call back Lila, pop a back row, tribute for Celestia, so I mean that's a really great play. You could call the Haunted Lumina back. Let's say you have that opening to push for game and you just need Lumina, so playing with 1 Reborn and triple Call of the Haunted is actually really stupid. Sometimes there's some really annoying card like a Defissure, and you could just call the Haunted your Lila back that you might have used before the Defissure came out and just pop that Defissure. So yeah, there's tons of plays that can be done. So I guess another card that just gets infinitely better, obviously, because the Call of the Haunted is Lila. BLS, sometimes they kill your BLS and you could just Call the Haunted your BLS back for game. The fact that you could do that at almost any time, especially now that Warning's at 1, so if your BLS is engraved, it's either because you milled it, it got killed, so you could just always Call Haunted your BLS whenever it was killed by an effect or something, and just bring it back and banish something that's in the way, or just attack for game. Obviously, this BLS and Honest is obviously a play. And last but not least, obviously, if they blind MS to your Call, chain it, special summon Trooper, draw cards, so your Call of the Haunted's float as well. So that's my build for March 2012, and I mean, obviously, if you're looking at any specific tech in the deck that might make it different from other cards, well, as usual, I'm always trying to innovate when it comes to this deck, and usually innovation leads to very popular builds. Like I made famous in I think it was 2011. I made a Twilight build very famous with Dust Shoot and Glow Ball and stuff like that. So this is I think the innovative tech that could maybe push Lightsworn to tier 2, even tier 1.5 if played properly. And I think this is probably the best build there is out there right now. There's no set extra deck or side deck for the time being. I'm just trying to work out the main deck and figure out a couple, tweak a few kinks in the deck, and for as it is right now, I think this deck is testing just wonderfully. So anyway, this is Jordan.
Main question that's probably going to be asked a lot of times. Yeah. Why no Gores?
Because Call of the Haunted. A lot of times, you're gonna call the Haunted into stuff, and you're just gonna XYZ away. Especially when you go Call into Lumina and just go XYZ, and then your Call's just there, and if you have that Gores in hand, it's just really bad. And plus you have the double Trags for protection. I wouldn't mind actually fitting in a Gores. Like if you want to put in a Gores, go ahead and put Gores, but before fitting in a Gores, I'd rather fit in one MST. I think that's more necessary than Call. So anyway, yeah, this is my another thing, no Foolish Burial, no Plague Spreader Zombie, because Synchro plays are, last time I played Plague Spreader and Lightsworn was when Trisha was still around and Brian Hack. Now that those two are gone, there's no reason to be synchroing with this deck, especially when you could just make XYZ plays. Lumina also makes Necrogarna infinitely better, because, besides the fact that you could just Lumina ditch Necrogarna, whenever your Necrogarners are gone, you could always go Lumina. special summoning another Illumina, going for Levier, bringing back a Necrogardener, and they kill that, banish it, Levier, bring another one. So you could just loop your Necrogardener. So I think the XYZ version of the deck is infinitely better than the Synchro version of the deck. So another thing that I want to fit in here, I just don't really have the room right now, is to go with the double Luminas is an Arcus, so that way I have 4 level 3s that I could do stuff off. But even at that, and obviously Arcus is pretty decent against decks like Fire Fist or Mermails, because you know infantry could pop, or what's called Bear could, you know, pop your Lightsworn space up too. So so yeah, tons of cool plays with Call of the Haunted, and I think this is the card that might just make Lightsworn that much better again, especially now that it's at 3. So yeah, that's my deck profile, and comment, rate, subscribe, inbox me if you have any questions. As usual, you can find me on Duelist Grounds as M10, or on DN as M10.1899, and I think I have the same username on Pojo as well. So just inbox me if ever you need any help or questions, or you want to compare builds. Alright, so Team GK guys, peace out.